Hey guys, we're out here at the range. I'm trying to show you guys what I have in my range bag, what kind of stuff that's in it and all that stuff. I used to have two different types of range bag, one for practice and one for competition. I realized that by doing that, it essentially created different routines, and I didn't like a different routine for my training and a different routine for my matches. I wanted them to be consistent so I know where everything is at. So now I just take my match bag and I have everything that I need on it for matches and for practice.
Brought to you by Shooters Global. We created the advanced training system and next-gen shot timers to help you progress faster.
I have another bag here. That's the only thing I bring extra as what I wouldn't bring in matches. I wouldn't bring this in the match, and really all this bag does is carry all my extra guns. So I have this one gun case, another gun case, another gun case, a fourth gun case. So all of these are here basically because I want to make sure that I have extra guns if I need to. And then I shoot in multiple different divisions, iron sights, carry optics, production optic, or open. I will have all my guns with me each and every single time, because sometimes if practice is going well on one, I'll switch to the next one and always kind of mix and match some of my practice. Sometimes, depending on where I'm at in the season, I may focus on one gun versus the other, but I like to have multiple. And with Beretta, most of my guns are interchangeable. I can switch the lower from the top and all that stuff. So that one bag that I don't bring in matches, I only bring this, but this is the one that carries all of my extra guns and some of my match gun. This is what I'll bring in matches, and this is my natural range bag. These things have some extra tools like extra sights and stuff like that, but this carries my belt. You can see I take my holster off. The reason being is I don't want that holster to be hanging off and possibly snap, so this carries my holster. Obviously my timer, bring my timer with me, and then I'll attach it to the holster. And this is one of those things that I started carrying as of recently. This one right here is a battery charger that charges multiple devices. I have a lot of smart things now. Here's my knee pad. A lot of times I use this, it's kind of beat up already. I bring this with me at the range because that's where I'll do some positional shooting and stuff like that. Obviously, I got big sticks and mags and stuff like that all over the place here. I'll just keep that there. And then over here, I have special springs and sometimes, you know, those drinks, liquid IV and stuff like that, just in case I get really thirsty. This over here is where I carry some of my knife and my lubrication. So I don't carry much lubrication. I don't really lubricate most of my guns. And I'm fortunate that they don't require much. Battery for my red dot. This right here is a more magazine cleaner. And then as well as my, my hearing is in there. I usually have that in the case itself, which is in here. But yesterday I was in a rush, so I kind of just threw this in there, which is totally fine. I also have my grip enhancers if I need it. It's hot in Florida, so I use that and bring that with me. And it's humid, so sometimes I don't have enough grip. This pouch right here is kind of important. This is where a lot of the stuff is. This is a coin that I'll get from, depending on department I'll shoot or train with. So this is where a lot of my tools, the heavy stuff like the Leatherman. More lube. This is more of a CLP than a lubrication, so I don't like using CLP on my gun unless I'm cleaning it. That I keep it pretty minimal. I don't really have much more on that. I have a gun back here that I like to bring because that's how I carry it to the matches. And then the last thing that I really have is the bottom piece over here, where sometimes I'll carry ammunition, but most of the time right now for training, I have my eyes and extra spare of eyes in here and stuff like that that I'll rock. So it's all in there. This is just in case. I bring this around because just in case I get in trouble sometimes in international travel, this will make me feel or seem more legit. It's gotten me out of some issues before because they've seen that and then they start Googling my name, and it's gotten me a much better treatment per se. Been fortunate in that sense, but otherwise, my bag, that's what I carry for matches, and I carry it the same way as my training. This is the only extra stuff. On here, you'll see a lot of times I carry an extra red dot here, but today I guess not. Oh, this is important. This is for training, and this is when my hands get hot sometimes, and then I get a lot of blisters, so I can't stop shooting. I just continue to train, and I just make sure I bring medical tape with me as well. So that's always in my training bag. My drinks are always on the opposite side, and then I'll carry 1,000 rounds of ammo usually for training, and that's just a separate case of itself. I don't put that in my bag. and allows me to be able to be set up. How I come to the range so I don't forget something is I literally touch every piece of my body. I go, all right, I got my holster, my inner belt, I got my holster, my mag pouch, and then I go up here, I got my eyes, my ears, and then I start thinking about the gun. I got my gun, I got my magazine, I have bullets in the magazine load, and I envision all of this before I even come to the range. So, because I live about an hour plus to the range. Today it took me an hour and a half to get here, and so it takes a very long time to come back home if I forget something. And if I forget something, and especially the gun or something important, I won't be able to train the way I want to train. So I make sure everything's packed, and that's why I keep a routine that I repeat over and over, so I don't have to think much when it's time to go. Some of the more details that I have, so to start off with my eyewear, I've been fortunate enough to be able to rock the Pila Performance eyewear. I do like them, kind of like the best lenses that I have. I constantly keep them in here. It comes in this pretty hard case, pretty durable. My backup sunglasses are the Berettas. They're just a simple Beretta lenses. They're one piece, which I really like. And then the hearing that I use are two types of hearing. I have the ISO Tune. One, the advanced Bluetooth, and the other one is the wireless one where you kind of put in your ear one and it comes in its own charger, right? I like these ones for training, and I've learned to like these as much for practice and matches as well. This is the more tactical one. It's got better sounds. It actually sometimes sounds better. It actually is better than my Bose system. So if I'm listening to music at the range or when I'm working out, I actually tend to just use that. It seals really, really well. And that's what I use for my hearing aid. I use these. These are the best ones for me. They're quite expensive, $28 for this little bottle, but I only use them and put them in once, and it dries it up, and once my hand gets a little bit wet, I just kind of blow air into it. It kind of almost re-triggers itself, and then it reactivates all the ingredients, and my hands gets chalky and sticky again. My holster I like because I can remove it on and off. This is the holster, the Ghost holster. It's a very quick release type of holster, and I have a locking device on it so I can move around safely and confidently knowing that my gun's not gonna fall off. This has a really smooth release. I like it, and one of the best things about it is that, as you can see the way I carry my bag, I like to put it away and not make sure that this is not hanging out and cause too much pressure and end up breaking. The belt that I'm using is my own belt, which is, I like it a lot. It's very stiff. As you can see, those are very heavy with all the magnets. It doesn't move much. It stays in itself. And the reason, one of the biggest things about this is that the inner belt's stiff, the outer belt is stiff, but it's very comfortable because some guy like me that wears it for 8 to 10 hours in a day, if I'm teaching a class, it now, all of my weight with all the rounds on it with my gun, sometimes I shoot open guns so it's heavy, all of the weight is supported by my waist. No longer does it cave in into my thigh, which causes certain issues like knee pain and all that stuff, lower back pain. This feels really comfortable, and it's been the best belt I've loved. Obviously, I'm using the SG timer. For now, this is the original SG timer that I'm using right now. It's got the new U-clip on it so I can hear, my dad can hear. He has hard of hearing, so he needed this a little bit to enhance the sound. This is my favorite timer because no other timer can compare like it. It gives me the data that I need. It gives me the repetition I need. It's all about efficiency for me. I got one more tool here actually. It's called the Mantis X. I use it when I'm trying to diagnose something, if I'm missing the steel, if I'm trying to zero my gun. This is one of those things that I use, and I just throw onto my rail and I start shooting with it and seeing how I'm doing, if I'm pulling the trigger correctly. In terms of my guns, these are my choice of guns right now. This right here should be the, I have two different lowers. This is the production setup where it's just iron sights on it. There's no red dot. This is the original one. It's got they engraved my signature on it when I got this gun. It's a pretty cool gun. It shoots well. Right now you can see it's pretty much beat up. I don't even have fiber optics on this anymore because I've shot this quite a bit recently, and sometimes I'll shoot without fiber optics. These are some extra base pads, some prototype stuff that I'm working on, so I'm testing it when I'm in the range. The other one would be the carry optics, should be, and maybe more. This is just the carry optics one. So this one's the setup with production optic. Fairly new gun. This is one of the ones I'm currently breaking in for next year. One of the things I check is the lockups. How good is it holding in? I've checked the trigger and all that stuff, right? So all these little small things, I'll check the dot and make sure that this is gonna be my new gun for my next year, if anything. I'm fortunate enough to be able to recycle my guns. I beat them up quite a bit. As you can see, one of my guns here is fairly beat up. Yeah, you can see it. The mag wells are completely beat up. Same with this. This isn't as beat up as much. Although I don't do a lot of reloads, most of the time I use the long sticks, so I don't have to reload at all. This is the 27, 28 round mag, and I'll just load this as many to capacity, and I'll shoot about a 50 round drill or 28 round drill at a time. So the guns get hot, I don't reload as much, but even then, you can tell that I've beaten this up a couple times. I've already tried to polish this up, clean it up, because there's been too many bursts. Those are it for now. The backpack is what it is, the Gugaribas. Other than that, everything for me is meant for the purpose. There's no extra that I need to have if I don't need it. And that's why I use my match backup load up, because it's what I'm gonna need at matches. And if I can use it in training and I don't need anything else, I can use it for matches as well.